let's meet on the corner.
Hey, Buff, can you go in the Buffy chair? Down. Oh, who's a good Buffy? That's excellent. Welcome to Perfect Paws, basic training for you and your dog. In this DVD, you're going to learn how to teach a few key behaviors to really upgrade your dog's manners. But more importantly, you're going to learn the principles used by professional animal trainers so that you can teach any behavior you want. And the more you train your dog, the sharper your skills become, and the better he gets at learning. Good girl. This brings us to an important topic, motivation. If I were a friend of yours and I said, hey, sit on this chair and don't move for the next half hour, okay? You'd probably say, why? Now, what would you think if I got all bummed out? Gee, I thought you wanted to please me. Of course you want me, your friend, to be happy, but just taking orders that make no sense isn't part of the bargain. Same thing with dogs. Now, what if I said to you, hey, I'll give you $5 if you sit in this chair for 2 minutes. Would you do it? You probably would. Now, what about if I said, hey, I'll give you $5, sit in the chair nonstop for 6 hours? You'd probably pass. Now, what if I then get all mystified and say, wow, I thought you liked money. You sat in the chair before. This is the economics of behavior. There are expensive behaviors for animals and cheaper ones. For expensive behaviors, payoffs have to be greater. For cheaper behaviors, payoffs can be smaller. For instance, if I said, hey, $20 to run 30 feet, would you do it? Now, what if I said, hey, $20 to run the Boston Marathon, would you do that? Most people would say, no. Now, what if I offered $20 million? Would you train for and run the Boston Marathon for $20 million? How about 20,000? All of us have a price point that makes any given behavior worthwhile. And what's even more interesting the behaviors themselves can be intrinsically rewarding. Some people train for and run the Boston Marathon for the inherent pleasure of doing it. Now think about your dog. There are activities he finds intrinsically rewarding. It might be playing fetch if you have a fetch-crazy breed. Maybe getting cuddles, taking walks, eating his dinner, and so on. There are also activities that he finds not at all intrinsically rewarding. Most of the obedience we want is in this category. So for these, we need to supply motivation. And depending on how expensive the behavior is it the dog equivalent of running 30 feet, or the dog equivalent of the Boston Marathon, or something in between? You're going to have to pay accordingly. There is no free lunch in animal training. The critical difference between successful animal trainers and the general public is that animal trainers know that the first order of business is motivation. In fact, the maxim in training circles is no motivation, no training. A professional animal trainer that did not first figure out how to motivate the animal she had to train would be considered grossly incompetent, kind of like a surgeon who shows up with unwashed hands and no scalpel. The good news is that the laws governing how animals learn are well understood, so we can really get the job done. The bad news is that you're going to have to give up completely and utterly your, but I want him to just do it, or to do it for me, or to do it because I'm the leader, or, but he's only doing it for the food, or the toy, or to get me to open the door. Yes, it's true. He's rarely going to do it for the lofty reasons you wish he would do it for. You're going to have to motivate him. You've got two options for motivating your dog, the carrot and the stick. You can reward what you like and remove rewards for what you don't like, or you can supply pain and fear for behavior you don't like and then provide relief from pain and fear for behaviors you do like. You can also do a combo. In this DVD, we're going to be using rewards to strengthen the behavior we like and occasionally reward removal to kill behavior we don't like. Your dog is going to grow a fabulous brain, And more importantly, you're going to learn the basics of the craft of animal training. So let's get started.
And shake some tail. I know a little place